So here the basic operation of the stack. Once we come back to the main program from subroutine, we need to retrieve all the stack values to the respective registers. So as we know, in the stack pointer it is first come, last out. So here we can observe the push operations and pop operations. Here the first one, it is push R0. So it will be retrieved at the end using the pop R0. So here we are going to restore all pushed register values back to the respective registers. Means we are not going to find any modification in the content of these registers in the main program. So when push and pop instructions are used, the SP incremented or decremented automatically. So the stack pointer is always pointing to the top of the stack. So here we are going to do what? We are going to observe there is an automatic increment and decrement of this stack pointer. Here, the Cortex M3 stack implementation. Here we are going to observe the same thing with respect to the Cortex M3. Here once again, the example is going to illustrate. It is going to use R0, R1, R2 registers, and there is a branch instruction to move from main program to subroutine. Once this instruction is executed, the subroutine instructions are going to be executed. Here, the push instruction is used, where in the previous example we observed for each register individual push instruction is used. That is basic one. But here in the Cortex M3, here we are going to observe we can, in a bulk, we can push the register content. So store all register values from R0, R1, R2 to stack. So push open brace R0 to R2. Okay, then suppose this example is going to illustrate we have written some instructions by using these R0 to R2 registers for programming purpose. After completion of those things, we need to come back to the main program. We need to return from subroutine to main program. So before returning, we need to use instruction pop. We need to use instruction pop. So to restore all register contents R0, R1 and R2. So once again branch instruction is going to return to the main program. Okay, this one is the Cortex M3 stack implementation. Uses a full descending stack operation model. The SP points to the last data pushed to the stack memory, and the SP decrements before a new push operation. There is an update in the stack pointer content whenever it is going to use push and pop operations. So another example we may observe, here it is. Not only the descending stack operation model, we may go for the R0 to R2 will be used if we want to add some more registers to be pushed or pop. Then we are going to use this type of instruction also. So whenever the branch instruction is called, the control from main program to subroutine is going to be transferred. Then in the subroutine, the first instruction it is push all the registers which are used in this subroutine. So here it is save the registers as well as the link register. Then after executing some instructions in this subroutine, we may pop all registers what we have pushed to restore registers and return to main program. Okay, this is the operation what we are going to observe in the Cortex M3. So another model it is what we are going to observe, it is two stack model. What is this two stack model? the two stack pointers are, the first one is the main stack pointer, generally known as the sp underscore main, as illustrated in the ARM documents. So main stack pointer, this is the default stack pointer. So as we are going to observe, there are two types of stack. One stack is the main stack, another one is the process stack. So to operate with the individual stack, we need to use a separate stack pointer. So MSP, it is a main stack pointer, which is a default. Whenever we want to change, we need to change. We need to go for change in the stack pointer. So it is used by the operating system, OS kernel, exception handlers, and all application codes that require privileged access. Another stack pointer it is process stack pointer, PSP, or sometimes it is, as per the ARM documentation, it is a SP underscore process. The name of that one is SP underscore process. So this is used by the base level application codes and are not running an exception handler. So we'll discuss what is this application in the future slides. So it is not necessary to use both SPs. Simple applications can rely purely on the main stack pointer, which is the default. So it is not the condition that in our program we need to use both. Okay, so based on the requirement, we need to use the respective stack. It may be main stack or it may be a process stack. Okay, so the SP register to be used is controlled by the control register, bit number 1, because this control register has 2 bits. So bit number 1, that is a high bit, MSP bit you may say. Instead of 2 bit only means one is LSP, one is MSP. So MSP bit is used for controlling the stack pointer register. And this higher bit of this control register, if it is 0, the MSP is used for both thread mode and handler mode. Thread mode and handler mode. So what are these mode of operations with respect to Cortex? We will discuss in the next slide. So meanwhile, we just have an introduction. It has thread mode and handler mode. So here the MSP, that is main stack pointer, which is a default stack pointer. It is used for both modes, thread mode as well as handler mode. So this is a default setting after power up. Once we power up the Cortex M3 processor, then the default stack pointer is MSP, and the control register bit, that is MSP bit, that is control 1, it is always 0. In this arrangement, the main program and the exception handler share the same stack memory region. So the care has to be taken in the main program that, because the exception is also using the same shared resources, stack memories. So obviously we need to take observation of this push and pop instructions. The control bit, that is MSP bit 1, it is 0. The MSP is used for both thread mode and handler mode. As we discussed, it is the diagrammatical representation of this MSP. So whenever the main program is go on executing, that is under the thread mode by using the main stack pointer, the default stack pointer. Whenever there is a subroutine or an interrupt has occurred, interrupt event is occurred. So what we are going to do, the subroutine is called, means the content of, means we are going to start using the what? We are going to start using the stack now. So here the stacking is going to be done. Means all the whatever the requirement of required registers which are available in, which are going to be used both in the main program as well as in the interrupt service routine, ISR we may say. Okay, in the subroutine also. Then we need to what? We need to take the help of push instruction. That is nothing but what? Stacking. Then after we are go on executing the subroutine content instructions. Then we need to unstack. That is nothing but fork. Means we need to come out from this interrupt, that is subroutine. So there also we are going to call that mode as a handler mode, where interrupts are running, subroutines are running, functions are executing. So that is handler mode. So during handler mode also, the which stack pointer is used? It is MSP. That is the default stack pointer is used. After exit of this interrupt, once again we are coming back to thread mode, nothing but the main program. So in the thread mode also, which stack pointer is used? It is MSP, which is default. So the conclusion of this diagram, it is what? In both handler mode, nothing but while executing subroutine as well as while executing main program, the only one stack is used by this complete process. Only one stack. And to operate that stack, we are going to use main stack pointer, the respective stack pointer. Let us go for if that MSP is 1, the control register bit 1, it is set. It is set. Then what will be the operation? Now it is in the form of PSP, is used in the thread mode. The process stack pointer is used for thread mode. So let's look at that diagram. So here what we are going to use for thread mode, we are going to use the process stack pointer as a separate stack. Then what about handler mode? In the handler mode, nothing but while executing the subroutine, there we are going to use which stack? It is the main stack. Main stack is used for handler mode. The special stack, that is nothing but the process stack. It is used for execution of main program. So you can observe here, while executing main program, that is nothing but thread mode, the PSP is used, a special stack is used. Once the subroutine is called, means when the interrupt event is occurred, nothing but the subroutine is called. We are going to upload all the stack values by using push instruction, that is known as stacking. Means what? Control is moved from main program to the interrupt service routine. The subroutine is gone executing, and here the stack pointer, what we are going to use it is the MSP. Main stack pointer is used, and that is nothing but handler mode. Once we come back from this interrupt service routine, means the exit of this interrupt, we are going to unstack all the content of stack memory. Once again, we are moved to execution of main program, that is nothing but thread mode, by using the help of the special stack, that is process stack. In this arrangement, the main program and the exception handler can have separate stack memory regions. So the overall summary for this stack operation in two stack model, it is what? It has the thread mode and handler mode. In the thread mode and handler mode, if only one same stack pointer is used, the permission is allocated to only the default stack pointer, that is MSP. And how we come to know? By observing or setting the value of control register bit number 1. Control register bit number 1, that is MSP bit of the control register, which is going to be set as 0. Or we say it is a reset value, reset of MSP bit of control register. If we set the MSP bit of control register, then for these modes, thread mode and handler mode, we are going to use separate stack pointers. Separate stack pointers or separate stack memory regions. So this is the stack operation under two stack model in the Cortex M3. So this can prevent a stack error in a user application from damaging the stack used by the OS. So whenever the damages are going to be reduced with the help of these two stack memory regions. So accessing MSP and PSP values. Here we have the high level language code. Whenever we want to read the value of this MSP and PSP, where it is pointing. So x equal to underscore get underscore MSP to read the values of MSP. To set the values of MSP, what we are going to use, the instruction it is underscore set underscore MSP, the respective value, the set value, that is x. Similarly for PSP also, x equal to get underscore PSP for read operation, for set operation, underscore set underscore PSP value x. For assembly instructions, it is the MRS for reading, MSR for writing. So the content of R0 are altered by this value of MSP. That is nothing but read task. MRS R0 comma MSP, nothing but the MA stack pointer is going to be read in R0 register. Whenever we want to set the MSP register value, then we need to use the write operation, write instruction, MSR MSP comma R0. Means the content of R0 are going to be stored in the stack pointer. Means the stack pointer is having the address of this R0. Okay, then similarly for PSP, here it is MRS for reading operation, MSR for writing operation for respective MSP and PSP. So this is about the stack operation. The basic stack operation that is done by using push and pop instructions with respect to the basic operations of this environment. For this Cortex M3, we may use bulk facility for push and pop instructions. Another operation with respect to Cortex M3 is two stack model. Okay, then how we need to control or access these respective stack pointer registers. Okay, that is register R13. Okay, the next one comes, it is reset sequence. So the reset sequence is nothing but whenever we are going to reset the Cortex M3 chip, then how it is going to perform the reset operation. Means once we press the reset button, how the Cortex M3 processor is going to execute or reset itself. So here the reset sequence, after the processor exits reset, it will read two words from the memory. The first two-word value it is, first word it is the address 0 in the memory, starting value of R13. The starting value of R13. R13 is nothing but the stack pointer. And second word it is 4. Address number 4. Here it is mentioned in the hexadecimal value. 0x nothing but hexadecimal value. It is a 30-bit address, isn't it? So address number 4. It is a reset vector. Reset vector. Vector nothing but a set of code are going to be executed. Okay. Or the addresses of the program, where the code is available. The main program where the code is available. So here the diagram is going to illustrate how the reset sequence is going to happen. Whenever the reset is called, the fetch initial SP value as 00 and fetch the reset vector address as 04. Then the instruction fetch means where the instruction is operating system or the respective the system instructions or which are available, those are kept in this particular address. Okay, then address reset vector. if I go for diagrammatically here, whenever the reset is called, the stack pointer is going to point to this particular address. Which address it is? 0th address. In the 0th address, some address is located, some value is mentioned. These are the default values. So here the address for the stack pointer, it is starting at this memory location. It is kept in the address of memory 00. Okay. So here, as per the example here, the stack pointer or stack memory location is allocated in the memory at the address of 2000800. In the address 2000800, there is a stack memory. So how the stack pointer comes to know? Once the reset is set, reset is activated, it will stack pointer is going to point immediately at 0th address. In the 0th address, it is mentioned where it has to begin. Or where is the actual stack memory. Then comes the code, the instruction set, which are there for running the OS, operating system. Those things will be mentioned in the next address of this 0. The next address is 4 because 32-bit. So the next address is 4. In the 4th address, yes, there is another address. So in that address, it is mentioned. This address is going to mention where is the code memory. In the complete memory structure, where this stack memory is allocated, where this code memory is allocated, where this interrupt memory is allocated, where these and all those things, the respective memory, the segmentation of the memory. So here, once the reset is activated, and another one is where is the code memory, stack memory and code memory. So stack memory address is available in the 0th address. The code memory address is available in the address number 4. So in the address number 4, yes, it is going to be mentioned where is the beginning address of the code memory. It is 101. So in the 101, we are going to observe the boot code, as we are going to observe here. Boot code, the reset vector, the code which are going to be kept for reset task. Okay, this is the simple reset sequence what we are going to observe in this Cortex M3. Clear? So this is today's concept. So we have discussed about stack operation and reset sequence. Okay. So this ends your module number 1.